The Three Amigos.
P21 Partnership for 21st Century Learning
by Mary Quebec,
Samantha Link,
and Aaron Swenson.
Technology. The good. Technology can be good in that it can engage students.
The bad part of technology is that schools are last to update because of cost, which makes it then hard for students to generate connections to real-world technology.
And the ugly, unfortunately, is a rise in cyberbullying, with online bullying and causing kids to probably have some behavior issues that they might not see in a different world.
How can the use of media in our classrooms or workplace influence the beliefs and behaviors of our students? A teacher needs to be careful when bringing in media into the curriculum. We all know that media can influence people's opinions and perceptions on topics. An educator must be vigilant to find credible sources and to be able to give students sources that they can then learn to evaluate. According to the Partnership for 21st Century Learning, students need to be able to effectively analyze and evaluate evidence and arguments, and they must look at alternate points of view and then break down information and arguments, and then to interpret that information critically. Educators have a responsibility to teach students to be critical readers and to give them opportunities and experience at evaluating multiple sources. In your estimation, what are the most appropriate media creation tools? Have you had success using them in the past? In our estimation, the most appropriate media creation tools are the word processing programs like Word, Pages, Google Docs, but also Google Forms, Prezi, Powtoon, Socrative, their phones, iMovie, Adobe Premiere, Pear Deck, Flipgrid, Lucid Press, WeVideo, Spreadsheets, SurveyMonkey, and many other programs can be used in the classroom. I teach a video production class and have used many programs and put out a weekly show in our school. The greatest success is when I see students that take what I've taught them and then create something more than I could have imagined possible, and they're proud of themselves. Yes, I've had failure using media creation tools along with many other teachers. But the failures just help us to build and problem solve and think creatively into how we can make things work. And that part of technology is important for students to learn as well as for teachers.
How have you used technology as a tool to research, organize, evaluate, or communicate information in your classroom? Your answer can focus on one or all. All right, here we have a screenshot of what the YouTube video 21st Century Education might call a glorified TV set. This is actually what our students' web links look like and the tools that they can use within our classroom to complete assignments, use group projects. However, they are not the most up-to-date. It seems to be a lot of Google Classroom and Schoology, and then we of course have Skyward, which they can look at their testings. We have star testings on here. We just have our typical Google Drive. We do have WeVideo, which is what we are currently, the avenue that we took to create this project, and that's mainly because of cost. We didn't want to spend any money to try anything new, which seems to be the case with our school system as well. It seems as though we might be a bit behind on the technology. Pulling from the 21st Century Education video, again, technology can be used for creativity, whether it's written, visual, 2D, using music, videos, photographs, magazines, or even experiments. Our students, I feel, do not get a chance to do this. We do a lot of Kahoot and Quizlets within the classroom, which is kind of just a competition, but it doesn't really allow them to collaborate to the fullest. Presentations, we do probably most likely Google Slides the most. A lot of students have not heard of Prezi. I enjoy Prezi because it's more of a creative outlet. However, it's still just putting up slides on a screen. We need something that helps the kids think critically, both in literature and just generalized thinking, coming to conclusions with questions, and we want them to think critically, which our technology is not allowing them to do as of yet. How have you addressed the ethical, legal issues surrounding the access and use of informational technologies? I believe the legal and ethical issues of informational technology to be one of the hottest topics of discussion right now, currently within the 21st century. And this is why within Detroit Lakes High School, the ninth grade seminar teachers actually teach our students about digital citizenship. They actually have a retired media specialist, Kent Moberg, who owns his own consulting firm, come in and talk to the kids about how to create and maintain a positive digital footprint. They want these students to realize that uh, digital citizenship comes within the classroom, but also goes with you throughout your entire life. And they bring up the morals and ethics of digital citizenship and what it's like to be morally correct online. That comes with responsibility and accountability, cyberbullying, and the pits of pettiness that come with cyberbullying. We do not want our students to say anything that could come back to haunt them, or we do not want students to say anything that will harm others. So, this is why we try to give students self esteem through digital citizenship so that students have a voice but are using that voice properly while online and using technology.
What were your aha moments from the video and the articles? One of our aha moments was learning to give and to accept criticism online. Uh, Yelp and Amazon both leave reviews. Yelp tends to be overwhelmingly negative, whereas Amazon tends to be positive. So both students and professionals need to be aware of when they leave reviews or go online, what they're saying and how that can affect them professionally and personally. Another aha moment was to not teach technology separately from other classes, but instead embed it within all disciplines. For example, with science, if you're doing something with science, you can use technology to do some different experiments and track your answers that way. With math, you can graph. Social studies, you could use a geometric section where you could possibly look at different maps and do all that. So within every single class, we're going to try to use some form of technology instead of separating it and teaching it as its own separate class. The students will slowly learn how to deal with all this stuff in each individual class that they take, and at the end of the day, be exposed to technology that they barely even knew they were. What were our 2 to 3 major takeaways from the readings and the videos? One of our first takeaways was creativity and innovation as a long term cyclical process of small successes and frequent mistakes. In this day and age, it's hard to get kids to understand the long term process when everything is given to them so quickly. And hopefully they'll understand that they need to crawl before they walk with the technology. Also, balance was mentioned in our reading several times, where you don't have to heavily load up on technology but instead use some pieces of technology with traditional education, and hopefully that will absolutely balance out the students' learning ability. Also, utilizing the most appropriate media creation tools. There are several hundred different tools we can use. We have to figure out what is most appropriate for age level, for students, and for teachers, and actually even our school districts that they can afford. So we're working within some constraints, and it's up to the educators to provide the most appropriate media creation tools for our students.
In conclusion, we have found that technology can help evoke critical thinking,
Foster communication and enhance collaboration.
and broaden creativity.